Welcome to Round Glass. I'm Yael Shy. Thank you for joining me for this meditation today on the push and pull of parenting. I am so excited to be with you today on International Parents' Day. The goal of today's practice is to make room for whatever is pushing and pulling you in this particular moment with the experience of parenting, with the experience of you and your kids, and to find room to accept all of it. So my first question for you is, what words come to mind when you think about the emotions of parenting? Not just thinking about them, but really feeling them, and not just parenting in general, but parenting right now, in this moment. What words come to mind? What words describe your experience of how you're feeling about parenting in this moment? So I'll get us started. For me, my son is sick. This morning was sick, been sick for the last couple of days. And so I think my feelings are anxious, full of love, completely full of love, and exhausted. I think that's where I would put myself. And when I ask myself these questions, this question of, how am I feeling in any given moment in parenting, so often the answers are contradictions, or they're opposites of each other. So I will have this enormous feeling of love and connection at the exact same time as I'm feeling like a pretty murderous rage. Or I will be feeling so grateful at the same time as I feel deep resentment, jealousy of people who don't have kids, with tremendous joy and fun. And really, I don't think those opposite feelings are an accident. I don't feel like it's strange that they're happening at the same time, because I think that is exactly what parenting is. I think parenting is a marriage of these opposite pulls and pushes, intense emotions that have us sort of grabbing for our kids, and at the same time being like, I need some time away. I can't look at your beautiful face for 5 more minutes. I think both things are so often present at the exact same time. There was this one point that I often think about where I was with my family. I was super pregnant with my second kid. We had my first kid, who was less than a year old, and my husband, and we were walking down the street and having like a lovely day in Park Slope in Brooklyn. And it was a lot because I was pregnant and he was crying, and we got into this restaurant, and the older one was like unhappy where he was sitting, and there was crying and things were falling on the ground, and I was feeling tired, and I just excused myself to the bathroom, and I closed the bathroom door, and I just said to myself, like, over and over again, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. I was like just so unhappy. And it was like, that's all I could do in that moment. That's all I could do. And I've been practicing meditation for 20 years. This is a long time. So this is real. This push and pull, the joys and the pains are real. And so if you find yourself kind of in this rubber band, the wanting to like pull your kids close in a non-metaphoric way, and like smell them and kiss them and hold them, and simultaneously being like, get off me, can't handle you, need to go lock myself in the bathroom, it's all okay. It is all normal. So what do we do? What is our practice in the middle of this wild rubber banding of parenting? Our practice is to allow all of it, even when it's happening at the same time or 5 minutes apart from each other, even when it's dark, how you're feeling and bad, it is all part of it. And so we just over and over again make the room for whatever it is you're feeling, and literally say to yourself, it's okay to feel this way. It's okay. All of it is okay, and all of it is welcome. This is really what it means to grow up into being a parent. I'm practicing that every single day of my life. And this is what we're modeling for our kids, to also open up and say it's okay for all of their big feelings. We're all experiencing big feelings in this dynamic. It is okay. And we open up the door and we say, you are welcome here. Whatever it is, however intense it is okay and it's welcome. So that's what this session is going to be about. Opening the door, welcoming in whatever is arising, even when it's overwhelming, even when it's hard. That's what we're going to do together. We're going to stop fighting with life and we're going to let life in. We're going to let the messiness be the messiness and allow whatever arises to arise. So before we get to settle in, I want to thank all you all parents for sharing what you're sharing into the chat. I see some emotions that you're feeling right now are amazed. Oh, beautiful. A bit sad. That's real. Heartfelt, and maybe sad and heartfelt that they've grown out of childhood. Yeah, it's real, right? Like, the more that we have love for our kids, the exact same time, there is also sometimes tremendous grief. That's another marriage of opposites that's in the middle of parenting, that love comes with grief. Because while we want them to grow, obviously, it's painful. It's hard when they're not little anymore, when they're not like little babies anymore. I see a post, the feeling of overwhelm with little kids starting back at school, all of the prep for that. Yep. And a sense that it's all going too fast. Yeah, that's that grief. I notice it every day. Like, every day it feels like my kids shoot up 4 inches. And, there's also benefits of that, as I'm sure you all feel, like less, like every day they're older, they're also more independent. They need us less. And also, like, ouch, they need us less. It's so painful. Both true at the same time. And gratitude, of course, the gratitude for our kids, that is real. And the abundant love. What a beautiful one to go out on. Abundant love, or rather go in on, because we're about to start meditating. So we're just going to let's take a minute and just let all of that in. Beautiful, beautiful chats, beautiful additions. The realness of what it is to go on this parenting journey. So let's let that all in. And we're going to provide space for whatever it is that you are feeling in this moment. All those marriage of opposites. All that pushing and pulling. So how we begin is always with the posture. We want to give our bodies a little bit of a sense that things are safe right now and that all of the feelings are welcome. And we do that by providing a nice little home for them in the body. So start by finding a position that feels comfortable for you, whether it's sitting or lying down, both totally fine. If you're sitting, you can feel that connection between your feet and the earth and the ground beneath you, rolling your shoulders back, finding that lift in the spine, but while at the very same time relaxing the shoulders, letting the shoulder blades slide down the back. If it helps to put any kind of cushioning behind you, I have this little cushion behind me. That might feel nice to cushion against your back. If it feels right for your body, find that lift through the crown of the head, and then an opening across the heart, relaxing the legs, relaxing the arms, giving your neck any kind of opening that feels good for you in this moment, softening your jaw. You can close your eyes or you can keep them very softly focused, about 45 degrees in front of you. Either way is totally fine. If you're lying down, you can just begin to let your body melt into whatever surface you're lying on and really feel that surface, that ground or bed or whatever you're lying on or sitting on, holding you up and supporting you. Again, we're going to open up to whatever is happening inside. And so for that to happen, we want to have a very sturdy base. And you want to feel life as it really is in this moment, holding you and supporting you while we're on this journey. So you can really drop into that feeling. The earth underneath your feet or underneath your body, the cushioning against you, the cushioning under your body, your back body against whatever you're leaning on, whether that's the chair or the ground. I want to encourage you for just a moment to really feel that back body, to feel the muscles and the spine behind you supporting you. It's always there. Sometimes in my most overwhelming parenting moments or overwhelming moments in general, sometimes it really helps to feel my own body kind of having my back, literally having my back. So you can feel back into that and feel the support of that. It's coming from the earth, it's coming from your back body. If it feels good for you, you can put a hand on your heart, you can put a hand on your belly, and begin to drop into the rising and falling of your breath. Rising and falling. Breathing you. There's nothing you have to do. It's just your breath is breathing you. Now, as you soften into your breath, we want to offer your emotions this opportunity, offer them the space, whatever is arising, to say welcome. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. So maybe it's what you put into the chat earlier, maybe it's something that's just arising for you in this moment, but when you think about your parenting journey, when you think about yourself as a parent in this moment, notice what feelings arise. Notice where you feel them in the body, whether that's the heart area, chest, or the belly, or somewhere else. And with kindness, with gentleness, you can say to that feeling, you are welcome here, either out loud or silently to yourself. You can say this too. Each inhale, bringing your attention in to the feeling, to the emotion, and each exhale, just softening a little bit, making that space, making that room for whatever is coming up. If it feels nice, you can leave your hands here, or you can drop your hands into your lap. You can leave your hands palms up or palms down on your lap, whatever feels the most comfortable for you. Your mind will likely wander. You might feel sleepy. start to doze off. All of that is very normal. As soon as you notice it, you just bring your attention back. Drop back into how you're feeling. What's present for you in this moment? And return back to that phrase. You are welcome here. This is welcome here. This too. Softening and opening. If anything has tensed up or tightened up, you can invite it to let go, to soften, and to open again. Just like in parenting, there is no perfect when it comes to meditation. There is no end point we're trying to get to. We wander, we come back. We wander, we come back. Ongoing journey, ongoing, returning, allowing, welcoming. If you notice resistance in your experience right now, resistance around any particular emotion or resistance physically in your body, you don't have to, fight the resistance. We don't want to add more resistance to resistance. We can just invite some softness. We can cradle everything that is having a hard time right now. Everything is allowed. So really releasing any muscles that are willing to be released. Bringing your hand to your heart, your cheek, your belly. Bringing that warmth, comfort into this very difficult, often challenging experience of being a parent in this moment. This too. This is welcome here. This is okay. If you would like, I want to invite you to create an intention from this place. Something that you would like to remember, to come back to remind yourself when things get overwhelming or difficult. Perhaps that intention could be something about softening, welcoming, creating space for whatever just came up for you. Perhaps it's a reminder to come back to yourself, to drop into your own experience when trying to take care of other people, which is our job as parents. To remember that we have to also take care of ourselves. So whatever intention feels right for you, you can just breathe that in, let it sink into your heart and into your body. Let it permeate throughout your body. Each breath moving it through. I'm going to ring the bell, and when I do, once you fully let the bell in, you're welcome to open your eyes if they're closed, or you can just gently bring your attention back if your eyes are open. You can give your body any kind of movement that feels nice for you. Returning back into the room. So when we allow and let our feelings be, just as they are, when we really create that inner space for whatever is arising, we come back in and really let ourselves even know what's going on in here, and then let it arise. There grows a spaciousness. And in that spaciousness, we have just a lot more capacity to hold whatever experiences are thrown at us from the outside and come up for us from the inside. And I think that doesn't mean that the push and the pull goes away. It doesn't mean that we don't really have hard times, stressful times, anxious times. All of that stuff doesn't stop happening. At least it hasn't for me. But I think it allows us to hold those things in a larger container so that we're not fighting with life and experiencing that suffering in the fight with life. And also, we're not totally kind of knocked over by these very strong pulls that arise, the pulls and the pushes. We can have the space to sort of just let it rise and fall, kind of like an ocean. Oceans can be very choppy on the surface, but at their depth, there's stillness, and they're fast. They can hold the choppiness over here, the stillness over here, and they're not, destroyed by the choppiness because that stillness is held underneath. So perhaps some questions have arisen for you through this experience. You can take a moment to just reflect on what's coming up for you. If there are questions or comments, feel free to pop them into the chat now. Some of you have already started. How often can I do this meditation is a question that came up. As many times as you want. This meditation will be on Round Glass, so you can go back and access it at any time that you want to. And also on a more like informal basis, because maybe you don't have the time to actually sit and watch it all again, you can access the very same idea of this meditation by, at any point when you're in the middle of your life and you feel overwhelmed, you can put a hand on your chest or a hand on your face and give yourself that warmth and say to yourself, this too is okay, or this is welcome here, or anxiety is welcome here. You just kind of give yourself that permission to feel whatever you're feeling at any moment, all the time. And that's how you do this meditation, all the time. Another question, what should I do with unexpected emotions? Should I take a break or keep going with the practice? Such a good question. So depends. If the emotion is like just some sadness or, some fear that comes up and is arising for you, and you feel like, I can handle this, I can hold this in the space of this meditation, please let it happen. Let it be there and let the meditation really hold it and hold you in that moment. That's what it's there for. If the feeling feels too overwhelming and you start to lose sort of a sense of yourself or a sense of reality, or something feels like it's too much for you in that moment, I really recommend you stop. That is not the appropriate moment to keep going in the meditation. That might be a moment to take a walk, to get a drink of water, to give yourself some kindness, to stabilize. We don't want this practice to bring you to a place of non-stability. So that might be time to take a break. But only you can really feel that for yourself. Can I meditate with my kids? Would you suggest this practice or another? Definitely, if your kids are down for it, it's a really lovely practice to do with your kids. Depending on how old they are, this might be appropriate. If they're very young, mine are 3 and 4, and one thing I've been doing with them since they were 2 is you tell them to put their hand on their belly, and you say, like, let's do a belly breath. Let's make your belly really big, and then let's let it out really slow, like you're blowing out birthday candles. And that can help them to just like relax and to get used to actually feeling their breath and feeling what's going on in their body. You could also, if you have like a bell or a musical instrument or like a kid's xylophone, you can play it and tell them to raise their hand as soon as they notice the bell stops. And that's like a sweet thing to do with kids of kind of all ages, adults too, and just to help them again to fine tune that muscle of paying attention to like their listening, to their breathing. The beautiful thing about kids is that they are natural mindfulness teachers. And so they often take to it really well, and they're also can kind of teach the practice to us, to be honest, really well. Okay, thank you for joining me in this practice today and for your beautiful questions and additions. It was so wonderful to practice with you, and I hope you'll continue to meditate with me and continue to explore meditation with us here on Round Glass. You can check out our daily live meditations at round.glass or on the app. And in the meantime, take care of yourself. You are a hero if you are a parent. No matter what, you are a hero. I am rooting for you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.